Now we are entering into a third panel discussion, Islamic Jihad's Global Funding Network and Communist Left Sport. And in this session, we do have six wonderful speakers: Advocate Monica Arora ji, Framwas Gauter ji, Sardar Ravi Ranjan Singh ji, Binay Kumar Singh ji, Khalid Umar ji, Jerome Antono ji. I welcome all of you, and I'll just give my one sentence input regarding this Islamic Jihad's Global Funding Network and Communist-led sports. I have seen this funding network for the past 30 years. I have seen shifting from Iraq, from Libya, from Saudi Arabia, Gulf states. Now, right in the center of the United States of America, there are Islamists so strong. They have their own money, their business people are so passionate. They give millions and millions of dollars to further their quote-unquote evil agenda, I must say. And you know that communist leftist sport comes from biggest tech corporations these days. So that is a situation. And first speaker, I'll have all those speakers in order what I see in our poster. So I welcome, first of all, very respectable Advocate Monica Arora ji. She's an Indian lawyer practicing in the Supreme Court of India and the High Court of Delhi. She's a former president of Delhi University Students Union, is also an author and a speaker. She's a co-author of a wonderful book, the book Daily Rights 2020, The Untold Story. Welcome, Monica ji, please.
Namaskar, Tahir ji. I'm so honored and so proud to share this platform with such esteemed speakers. Indeed, honor is all mine here. And I just want to focus here on a small aspect of this entire problem. And that is my tryst with the communist jihadi network in India. I'll say, yes, the global forces operate here, but how they have been operating, and I never chose this field. This field chose me. I was simply doing my law. I was simply taking my cases. But somehow or the other, I became the center of all these things happening around me. And till this date, whatever we do, God knows how we irritate this network, and this network comes after us. So we never chose it, they chose us. And if I may just start by stating that today being 11th of September, and I remember in 1893, 11th of September, जब स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने वहां पर विश्व धर्म संसद सम्मेलन को संबोधित किया था और कहा था कि I come from that civilization which is the mother of all civilizations. He said कि जिस तरह से सब नदियां अलग अलग रास्तों से होकर समुद्र में मिल जाती हैं, उसी प्रकार से सभी अपना अपना मार्ग पर पूजा करते करते उसी ईश्वर के पास जाते हैं. इसलिए मैं किसी को टॉलरेट नहीं करता, मैं सभी को एक्सेप्ट करता हूं कि मैं भी सच्चा हूं और तुम भी सच्चे हो, हम सब सच्चे हैं, हमारे मार्ग उस ईश्वर के पास ही जाते हैं. ये टॉलरेंस का मार्ग, ये यूनिवर्सल एक्सेप्टेंस का मार्ग, ये विवेकानंद जी ने हम सबको और दुनिया को दिया था. साथ ही उन्होंने एक बहुत जबरदस्त बात कही थी जो कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग भूल जाते हैं. उन्होंने कहा था कि मैं विरोध करता हूं. हम सबको विरोध करना चाहिए, तलवार की कट्टरता का भी और कलम की कट्टरता का भी. तलवार की बम धमाकों की कट्टरता हमने देखी है 11 सितंबर 2001 में जब अमेरिका पे आतंकी हमला हुआ था. जिहादी कट्टरता हमने देखी है जब सीरिया में आईएसआईएस ने सत्ता संभाल ली थी. आज हम वो कट्टरता देख रहे हैं अफगानिस्तान में, जहां महिलाएं पढ़ नहीं सकती, ऊपर से नीचे तक बुर्के में रहती हैं, आदमी के बिना घर से बाहर नहीं जा सकती, सेक्स स्लेव बनाकर मंडियों में बेचा जा रहा है. शरिया कानून ने उनका जीवन नरक बना दिया है. कम्युनिस्ट चाइना चुप है, रशिया लगभग चुप है. इस्लामिक देश वेलकम कर रहे हैं कि शायद यहीं से इस्लामिक राज्य की शुरुआत हो जाए. ये तो थी तलवार की कट्टरता. पर जो कलम की कट्टरता है ना, वो हम सब देख रहे हैं। जो 2 दिन से कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही है, डिसमैंटलिंग ग्लोबल हिंदुत्व कॉन्फ्रेंस, इसमें कोई हिंदू स्कॉलर नहीं है, कोई हिंदुत्व पे एकेडमिशियन नहीं है, ये पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट हैं, ये हेट मॉन्गरर्स हैं, दे हेट हिंदुइज्म, दे हेट इंडिया, और इनका जमावड़ा इकट्ठा हुआ है जो अपने आप को एकेडमिशियंस कह रहा है। तो इसी जो कलम की कट्टरता है, हम इसकी बात कर रहे हैं। आपने पोस्टर हम सबने देखा है, इनका पोस्टर पे दिखा रहे हैं कि राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के लोगों को वो नेल्स की तरह निकाला जा रहा है। हमें गलतफहमी में रहना नहीं चाहिए, हम हैं भी नहीं। ये केवल आरएसएस के खिलाफ नहीं है, ये केवल सावरकर जी के खिलाफ नहीं है, ये केवल विवेकानंद जी और अरविंदो के खिलाफ नहीं है, ये हिंदुत्व के खिलाफ है, ये हिंदू धर्म के खिलाफ है, ये भारत के खिलाफ है। और अगर मैं ये कह सकूं कि जो हिंदू पूरी दुनिया में कहीं भी रह रहा है, ये उसके खिलाफ है, ये उसके बच्चों की सेफ्टी, सिक्योरिटी और भविष्य के खिलाफ है। ये इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को हिंदुस्तान में कर सकते थे। अगर सोनिया गांधी जी की सरकार होती तो इन्होंने खुद ही लिखा है हम कॉन्फ्रेंस हिंदुस्तान में ही कर सकते थे, पर शायद मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो सरकार आई है, इनके लिए ऐसी पॉलिटिकल हेट फिल्ड कॉन्फ्रेंस करना जरा मुश्किल सा होता जा रहा है। ऑनलाइन मीडियम से कर रहे हैं, ग्लोबल कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आज सोशल मीडिया का जमाना है, इसलिए हमें ध्यान में आ रहा है कि कितनी हेट स्पीचेस दी जा रही है इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के ऊपर। लेकिन ये इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटीज में, अगर मैं कहीं ना कहीं कह सकूं, बाकी की यूनिवर्सिटीज में 365 दिन यही हेट कॉन्फ्रेंसेस होती हैं। 24 घंटे जब भी मौका मिलता है, वो प्रोफेसर्स जो बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं, वो ऐसे ही हिंदुत्व के प्रति हेट्रेड पढ़ाते हैं, वो ऐसी ऐसी चीजें पढ़ाती हैं जो सुनना भी हमारे लिए पाप हो सकता है। इनको कोई रोकने वाला नहीं होता। कितने ही डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं, कितने ही हमारे जो सेंटर्स हैं, वहां लगातार ये जो लेफ्टिस्ट प्रोफेसर है वो यही कर रहे हैं, और इसका तो हमने सामने देखा है और भुगता है। अगर मैं कह सकूं तो हमारे हिंदुस्तान में स्कूल्स की टेक्स्ट बुक्स में पढ़ाया जा रहा था कि भगत सिंह, लाला लाजपत राय, बाल गंगाधर तिलक ये एक्सट्रीमिस्ट थे, टेररिस्ट थे। हमने कहा टेररिस्ट और एक्सट्रीमिस्ट फ्रीडम फाइटर्स को कहा जा रहा है। हमने केसेस फाइल किए, इंडियन कोर्ट्स में केसेस फाइल किए, फाइट किए और जीते। अब भगत सिंह जी को टेररिस्ट नहीं कहा जाता, उनको फ्रीडम फाइटर कहा जाता है। उसके बाद जब हमारा ही बच्चा बीए पढ़ने जाता है, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में जाता है, अभी 3 साल 4 साल पहले तक उसको A.K. रामानुजन का आर्टिकल 300 रामायणास पढ़ाया जाता था हिस्ट्री के अंदर। और इस आर्टिकल में क्या पढ़ाया जाता था, इतना खराब पढ़ाया जाता था कि रावण की छींक से सीता पैदा हुई, रावण सीता का बाप था, लक्ष्मण और सीता के अनैतिक संबंध थे, हनुमान जी लंका के शयन कक्षों में रोज रात को विचरा करते थे कि वहां पर पति पत्नी क्या कर रहे हैं। इस प्रकार का सब पढ़ाया जाता था। हमने जब केसेस फाइल किए हाई कोर्ट में, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, और अल्टीमेटली दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी से इस कोर्स को हटवाया तो बवाल हो गया। और ऐसा ही बवाल उसके बाद हुआ जब, क्योंकि बच्चा पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन में जाता है, वहां वेंडी डॉनिगर की किताब पढ़ाई जाती है, हिंदूज एंड ऑल्टरनेटिव हिस्ट्री, पब्लिश बाय पेंगुइन पब्लिशर्स। वो ये नहीं बताएंगे कि पढ़ाया क्या जा रहा है, वो बताएंगे वेंडी डॉनिगर सच अ गुड स्कॉलर, यू नो शी इज अ स्कॉलर इन हिंदुत्व। अरे पढ़ा क्या रही है, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है ना। दे विल नेवर कम ऑन फैक्ट्स। लेट मी टेल द फैक्ट्स। वेंडी डॉनिगर की बुक हिंदूज एंड ऑल्टरनेटिव हिस्ट्री में पढ़ाया जा रहा था। विवेकानंद जी और गांधी जी से कहा गया आप भोजन में क्या खाएंगे, उन्होंने कहा गौ मांस परोसा जाए, सर्व अस बीफ। उन्होंने जो फ्रीडम फाइटर थे मंगल पांडे, उनको चरसी कहा, गांजा पीते थे, ओपियम के नशे में रहते थे। रानी लक्ष्मीबाई को कहा शी वाज लॉयल टू द ब्रिटिशर्स, और शिवलिंग का आकार का इतना भद्दा वर्णन करते हैं कि मैं वो बोल भी नहीं सकती यहाँ। और वेंडी डॉनिगर कई जगह लिखती है कि ये सब रिसर्च मटेरियल कहां से मिला, तो शी रेफर टू द राइटिंग्स ऑफ शशि थरूर। ऐसा शैलो वर्क। वी वेंट टू द कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ। हमने वहां पे इस नेटवर्क को एक्सपोज करते हुए कहा, कम्युनिस्ट जिहादी नेटवर्क को, कि व्हाट इज दिस गोइंग ऑन। वी strongly object to such portions which depict our gods and goddesses, our freedom fighters in bad light. It's defamatory. Kindly remove these portions. We went to the court of law. Cases फाइल किए, 3 साल तक केसेस चले. जब समन गया वेंडी डॉनिगर को और यहाँ पेंगुइन पब्लिशर्स को, तो हमारे ऑफिस में आ गए. ऑफिस में आके पेंगुइन पब्लिशर्स ने कहा, मोनिका जी, दिस बुक इज ट्रैश. इट इज बेस्ट सूटेड इन द डस्टबिन. वी विल ट्रैश द बुक, वी विल पल्प द बुक, वी विल साइन दिस कॉम्प्रोमाइज विद यू. उन्होंने अपना साइन करके दिया, हमने केस विड्रॉ कर लिया. अब ए.के. रामानुजन या वेंडी डॉनिगर ये जो लिख रहे हैं ना 300 रामायणास, Hindus and alternative history, they never dared to write an Islamic alternative history. They never dared to write 300 Qurans. इनका तो चार्ली हेब्डो हो जाता, इनका तो बख्शा भी नहीं जाता. वो क्या चलते हैं ना नारे, सरतन से जुदा, सरतन से जुदा. फंडिंग रुक जाती है इनकी. सारा इनका ज्ञान हिंदुत्व पर ही आता है. लेकिन हम बैठे हैं ना यहाँ, हम कहीं नारेबाजी नहीं करते, हम जिंदाबाद मुर्दाबाद नहीं करते, हम काले झंडे नहीं दिखाते, हम पत्थर नहीं मारते. वी सिंपली अबाइड बाय द रूल ऑफ लॉ. हम जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया में हमारे पास राइट्स दी गई हैं, हम उन राइट्स को एक्सरसाइज करके कोर्ट में जाते और कहते हैं फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन इज देयर फॉर एवरीबॉडी, सर्वधर्म सद्भाव. इट कांट बी एंटी मेजॉरिटी. तो इसीलिए ये जो ऑब्जेक्शनेबल पोर्शंस हैं, इनके कोई फुटनोट्स नहीं, कोई रिसर्च मटेरियल नहीं है, प्लीज इसको हटाइए. ये लोग हटा लेते हैं उसको. लेकिन फिर जो शुरू होता है, ये ग्लोबल नेटवर्क फोर्स में आता है और कहता है दिस इज तालिबानाइजेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन, दिस इज हिंदू फ्रिंज स्ट्राइकिंग अगेन. ऐसा लगता है कि हम लोग रातों रात एक्सट्रीमिस्ट हो गए. वो सब बुरा लिख रहे हैं, वो डिसमेंटल कर रहे हैं हमारे श्रद्धा के केंद्रों को, हमारे देवी देवताओं को, हमारे रिलीजन को, हमारे धर्म को, हमारे महापुरुषों को, हमारी हिस्ट्री को, हमारी बुक्स को. हम ये भी नहीं कह सकते कि तुम जो कर रहे हो वो गलत कर रहे हो. We don't even have the right to respond academically. Why? This is one-sided. ये तो एक माओइस्ट और जिहादी अटैक है जो एजुकेशन पे नहीं चल रहा, कोर्ट्स में भी चल रहा है. और आखिरी मुझे एक एग्जाम्पल देना चाहूंगी, मैं सीए का एग्जाम्पल देना चाहूंगी. सीए में हमारे घर से लगभग 25 किलोमीटर दूर, 25 किलोमीटर दूर, वहां दंगे हो रहे थे, राइट्स हो रहे थे. हम वहां ग्राउंड जीरो पर गए. वहां जाकर हमने रिपोर्ट कलेक्ट किया, विक्टिम से बात किया, एंड वी डॉक्यूमेंटेड दैट फैक्ट फाइंडिंग रिपोर्ट. इसको हम एक बुक के फॉर्म में लेकर आए कि दिल्ली राइट्स 2020 एन अनटोल्ड स्टोरी. ब्लूम्सबेरी ने उसको पढ़ा, लीगल डिपार्टमेंट ने देखा, उसको ब्लूम्सबेरी ने पब्लिश कर दिया. बट सडनली जिस दिन लॉन्च होना था लास्ट अगस्त में, दिस कॉन्स्पिरेसी वाज हैच्ड बाय दिस communist jihadi network, some fellow named Atish Tasir of that ill fame. क्या था वो? Modi divider in chief, Times magazine. One person named William Dalrymple, कोई एक बॉलीवुड की एक्ट्रेस, कोई एक वहां हॉलीवुड से. They started tweeting that Bloomsbury, how can you publish this book? This was a fact-finding report. You can say it is good, it is bad. You can find it truth reading worthy, or you can dump it. But how can you cancel a book? This is book jihad going on, and they practically, Bloomsbury succumbed to their pressure. उसने withdraw कर लिया. They aborted their own child, the book. लेकिन हमारा क्या नुकसान हुआ? Garuda publisher आ गया, and the book became the bestseller. We sold more than 50,000 such copies. लेकिन आप देखिए ये काम कैसे करते हैं. और क्योंकि मैं जेएनयू की लॉयर भी हूं, मैं इनसे रोज मेरा इनसे वास्ता पड़ता है. एवरी डे आई थिंक आई एम लेस विद द नेशनलिस्ट एंड मोर विद दिस नेटवर्क. और ये लोग क्या करते हैं, अगर मैं इसको 1 मिनट में आखिर में ताहिर जी बता पाऊं, जो मैं रोज देखती हूँ. अगर हम लोग जेएनयू में, जवाहरलाल यूनिवर्सिटी में एक रूल लेकर आते हैं कि वी विल हैव कंपल्सरी अटेंडेंस फॉर ऑल. तुम्हें 25,000 रुपए महीना दे रहे हैं ना, चलो क्लास अटेंड करो, यू विल हैव कंपल्सरी अटेंडेंस. कल से रूल लेकर आते हैं तो इनका जो स्टूडेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वो प्रोटेस्ट करती है. उसके वो अपना बैटन देती है इनके टीचर्स की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को. वो प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं और कहते हैं कि वी सपोर्ट द स्टूडेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. उसके बाद रातों रात इनकी पिटिशन बन जाती है और पिटिशन ये लोग कोर्ट में डालते हैं और कोर्ट में इनके जो ड्राफ्टिंग एडवोकेट्स होते हैं उनकी पूरी टीम होती है, वो सीनियर एडवोकेट्स कपिल सिब्बल जी हैं, बाकी लोग हैं, उनको लेकर आते हैं और वहां पर वो पूरी पिटिशन तैयार है, सेम डे कोर्ट में मेंशन की जाती है, कोर्ट में लगवा दी जाती है और आर्ग्यूमेंट हो जाता है। और आर्ग्यूमेंट के बाद जब 2 बजे आर्ग्यूमेंट खत्म होता है, हम लंच में अपनी चेंबर में आते हैं, अपना मोबाइल उठाते हैं कि देखें क्या न्यूज है, तो वायर, क्विंट, स्क्रोल, इन सब ने उसमें 5-5 हजार वर्ड्स के आर्टिकल्स लिखे होते हैं कि कैसे पिटिशन फाइल की गई, कोर्ट में क्या हुआ, वहां से उनके लॉयर ने क्या कहा, यहां से हमने क्या किया, फिर उन आर्टिकल्स को ट्वीट किया जाता है। इनकी नेक्स्ट आर्मी आती है, ये अपना बैटल नेक्स्ट आर्मी को दे देते हैं, ट्विटर की आर्मी को, वहां पर वो ट्वीट करते हैं, फिर सेलिब्रिटी ट्वीट्स करवाते हैं हिंदुस्तान में, एकेडमिशियन से, जर्नलिस्ट से, बॉलीवुड से किसी एक प्राइज विनर को पकड़ लेते हैं, इंटरनेशनल सेलिब्रिटी को पकड़ लेते हैं, इट बिकम्स बिग। दिस इज हाउ द इकोसिस्टम वर्क्स। इट इज अ रिले रेस, इट्स अ बैटल रेस। इनका पूरा जो इकोसिस्टम है उसकी आर्मीज अलग अलग हैं, स्टूडेंट्स की आर्मी अलग है, टीचर्स की आर्मी अलग है, स्टाफ की आर्मी अलग है, लॉयर्स की आर्मी अलग है, सेलिब्रिटीज की आर्मी अलग है, इंटरनेशनली जो पोजीशन होल्डर्स हैं उनकी आर्मी अलग है, इनके जर्नलिस्ट की आर्मी अलग है। अपना अपना काम करके आगे ये बेटन पकड़ाते जाते हैं। देयर इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग नीड कि हम भी ऐसा इकोसिस्टम डेवलप करें। एक मुद्दे पर हम जो लिख सकते हैं आर्टिकल्स वो लिखें, जो वीडियोस बना सकते हैं वो वीडियो बनाएं, जो इस पर कुछ ट्रेंडिंग कर सकते हैं ट्विटर पर वो ट्रेंडिंग करें, जो इस पर कहीं भी ज्ञापन दे सकते हैं, मेमोरेंडम दे सकते हैं इंटरनेशनल एजेंसीज को, वो करें। हर कोई अपना अपना काम करे, तभी जाकर इस मिनेस को हम रोक सकते हैं। क्योंकि आप देखिए हिंदुस्तान में जब मोदी गवर्नमेंट आ गई है, इनकी फंडिंग रुक गई है, तो इनको थोड़ा डर सा लगता है ये हेट्रेड का प्रचार करने के लिए। दूसरा सोशल मीडिया आ गया है तो इनका झूठ कहीं दबता नहीं है, किसी प्लेटफॉर्म को कैंसिल नहीं कर सकते, सोशल मीडिया इंडिपेंडेंट है। जैसे आज इनकी कॉन्फ्रेंस को एक्सपोज करा, ऐसे ही इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को बता भी रहा है। तो इसलिए आज ये थोड़े बहुत बचे हैं जो हिंदुस्तान में, कुछ जेएनयू में बच गए हैं, कुछ केरला में बच गए हैं, कुछ मीडिया में बच गए हैं, बाकी कहीं बचे नहीं है। तो इसलिए अमेरिका ने तो घुटने टेक दिया अफगानिस्तान में, बाकी कंट्रीज को समझ नहीं आ पा रहा कि इनसे लड़े तो कैसे लड़े। हमने सरवाइव किया है ना हिंदुस्तान में, 1000 साल तक सरवाइव किया है, 800 साल तो मुगलों को सरवाइव किया, 200 साल तक हमने ब्रिटिशर्स को सरवाइव किया और फिर 70 साल से कम्युनिस्ट को सरवाइव कर रहे हैं, आज भी जिंदा हैं। क्योंकि जब राज्य इनके पास था तब राष्ट्र जो था वो हमारे पास था, हमारे संत समाज के पास था, हमारे आम इंसान के पास था, जिसने अपने धर्म का मार्ग नहीं छोड़ा। इसलिए मैं आखिर में यही कहूंगी कि आज ये दीवार पर्दे की तरह हिलने लगी, शर्त लेकिन है कि ये बुनियाद हिलनी चाहिए। सिर्फ हंगामा खड़ा करना हम सबका मकसद नहीं, हमारी कोशिश है कि ये सूरत बदलनी चाहिए और तेरे सीने में नहीं तो मेरे सीने में सही हो कहीं भी राष्ट्रभक्ति की आग, लेकिन आग जलनी चाहिए। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
जय हिंद, धन्यवाद Monica Arora ji, thank you very much for your very precise words. As you mentioned that we need to create our own ecosystem, and I really congratulate Kapil Mishra bhai to creating that kind of a great platform. And today we are doing a conference through Hindu ecosystem facilitated by Sangam Talks. I would like to move on to a very great scholar of our time, Mr. Francois Getter. He is a wonderful, wonderful author. He happened to be South Asia correspondent for Leaf Icaro and a columnist in leading Indian newspapers. He is an author of several best-selling books. Welcome, sir. We would love to hear your views on this very delicate issue.
First, I would like to say that whatever I have learned, whatever I say, I have learned it in your country, in India, and my gratefulness goes to Mother India, to this wonderful country which adopted me and which I have adopted. So I am no great scholar. Whatever scholarship I have learned it here at the feet of Mother India. Now, Of course, the title of the conference is absolutely apt and correct. But what I would like to add is what's more important to me is dismantling Western Indology. So what's important to me is dismantling Western Indology. The greatest culprits in this story are Western Indologies. In fact, the brain behind this dismantling Hindutva conference is a Frenchman called Christophe Jaffrelot. Now, Christophe Jaffrelot has been the leader of Indology in France for the last 25 years and my personal enemy. And he has written a number of books on dismantling Hindutva. Actually, apart from his hate for Mr. Modi and the BJP and Hindus, he has written 2-3 books on the fact that Hindutva is funded by Hindus abroad, particularly in the United States. And it's necessary to dismantle this network, this nexus. So I believe that, and he is very closely associated with Stanford University and Princeton, which have published his book. So he's the brain behind this conference. Now, Mr. Jaffrelot is funded by the French government, actually. He belongs to an organization called CNRS, which means National Center of Research and Scientific Research, which is funded by the French government. So the funny thing is that the French government pays Mr. Jaffrelot to enlighten the French people about India, which is a very far away and very difficult country for French people to understand. And what Mr. Jaffrelot does, not only Mr. Jaffrelot, but Mr. Witzel and Mrs. Doniger in the United States, and in Sweden, in Norway, in England, there are different Indologists who are hostile to India. So what Mr. Jaffrelot does is that he brings down India by talking about Hindu fundamentalism, Hindu Taliban, of course, Hindutva, caste. Mr. Modi, his latest book is about Mr. Modi being a danger to democracy in India, and particularly he targets Hindus. Now, the funny thing is that, as I said, the French government is sponsoring him. And I've been fighting Mr. Jaffrelot for 25 years, but every time something happens, elections in India, some catastrophe, Mr. Modi coming to power, Godhra, newspapers and television call Mr. Jaffrelot because it's like a circle. They all feed each other. So it's very difficult for people like me who have been for 25, 30 years trying to defend the Hindus, trying to defend India, trying to promote India as an economic destination for the West, and for the French in particular, to say that, India is a democracy contrary to China. India is a place of tolerance. Every persecuted minority has found place in India. Mr. Jaffrelot is there all the time, and he says the opposite. Now, I would like to quote another French Indologist. He's Indian, actually, but he lived in France. He speaks French fluently. His name is Sanjay Subramaniam. He teaches not only at the prestigious Collège de France, which is a very, very up university in Paris, but he's also associated with many American universities like UCLA. Now, Mr. Sanjay Subramaniam has also been running down Mr. Modi, Hindus. I recently saw an article of him where he criticizes Mr. Modi, the BJP, and Hindus. The funny thing is that not only, of course, he's also funded by the French government, but he's the brother of India's external minister, Mr. Jay Shankar. Nobody knows that one of the bitter enemies of Mr. Modi and the BJP and Hindus in France, who is an Indian himself, so being an Indian, he gets even more credit than Mr. Jaffrelot, is the brother of Mr. Jay Shankar, who is India's external affairs minister. I mean, this is an absolutely crazy thing. So, recently, I met the new education minister in India, and I told him that there is an entire nexus of hostile Indologists in European and American countries. So we need to bring up, younger generation of Indologists, bring them to India, give them some grounding in Sanskrit, in spirituality. What is the puja? What is the temple? Who are the Hindus? What is the history of India? And then send them back to the West so that in time, they supersede the Jaffrelot and the Subramaniams. Oh, he's the fourth education minister to whom I said that, from Smriti Irani to Mr. Javadekar to the present one, Mr. Pokhriyal, Mr. Pradhan. He's the fourth person to have said, the problem is that Western Indologists are feeding wrong information to the people because they're the one who are the newspapers, they're the one who are on the TVs, they're the one who organize conferences like the dismantling of Hindutva. So you need to tackle this problem. Mr. Jaffrelot is on the board of Ashoka University. I don't know. I told the previous education minister that he was on the board of Ashoka University. I don't know if he was removed or not. I don't think he's been removed. He's on the board of Ashoka University. Every time he's invited to India, he goes to JNU, he writes an article in Indian Express, the Indian government gives him visa. The Chinese would have long ago refused visa or kicked him out. But this man, who's the brother, who's the other colleague, is the brother of the External Affairs Minister of India, is invited India, he gets visas to come to India, he slanders India, he slanders Hindus. I've been fighting him for 25 years, but I'm helpless. I mean, I'm a one-man army, What can I do? If the French government sponsors him, he comes to India, there's an office of the CNRS in the French embassy in Delhi. The French embassy invites him. Oh, this guy is, nobody can bypass him. And they've been within the rank, the people who wanted to say something else about India, but he throttled them, he brought them down. So he's a monopoly. And I mean, for 35 years in the CNRS, there have been Indologists who have been hostile to India before Mr. Modi, even when the Congress was in power. Talking about Hindu fanatism, talking about the Taliban mindset of the RSS, and so we are helpless. Unless the Indian government, the power is with the Indian government, the power is with Mr. Modi. He only has the power to say, okay, let us do something about Indology, Western Indology. Since Max Muller, Max Muller may have been a great guy, but since Max Muller who believed that after all, Christianity was the democratic and the civilized manner. That, okay, Hindus may have good Sanskrit, but ultimately Max Muller remained a Christian, or Macaulay before him. So these people are the forefathers of a hostile, subtle Western Indology, which studies Indian temples, Sanskrit, but in fact brings down India. The problem with these Westerners is that they do not want to be identified with the subject they're studying. So they're saying, okay, we will study Sanskrit, but how can you study Sanskrit unless, you go to temples, you see what the puja is, you meet the pandits, you cannot. But these people want to separate it. They say, okay, we study Sanskrit, but, we don't want to associate it with Hinduism. Hinduism is dirty. Sanskrit is separate. This is going on from the British times. It's a legacy of the British people. And that is today alive in France, in Sweden, in United States, in England, everywhere. So unless we tackle the evil of Western Indology, we will never win. We will never win that war. And the ball is in the Indian government side. They only can do it. And I must say, because I think my time is running out, I must say, and I have said it again and again and again, that Hindus are 1.2 billion in the world, one of the most civilized, intelligent, educated, affluent community, in the entire planet. But they're so disunited. This conference could not happen, if Hindus in the United States would just tackle these people. Just tackle these people, all these Hindus who are participating in that, forget about the Muslims, forget about Jaffrelot, but all these Hindus professors in American universities who are spitting on their country, spitting on their prime minister, spitting on their people, they should be tackled. I'm sorry, I mean, we don't have to do like the Muslims, and kill them or, throttle them or, bring down planes on them, but some kind of physical confrontation is necessary. Unless the Hindus come out of their comfort zone, and this conference is also a comfort zone, we are there online, and but unless Hindus are willing to go down in the streets and confront physically these people who are spitting on this wonderful country, this wonderful civilization, this wonderful spirituality, it'll go on. The Jaffrelot and the Donigert and the Witzel of the world know that they can say anything because the Hindus will never retaliate. They're safe. They wouldn't say anything about the Muslim, about Mohammed, because they know that they'll be killed. They and their family, they know their people. But Hindus, it's a safe bet because the Hindus will never retaliate in any way, even in a, peaceful, ahimsa kind of dharna, where you sit in the front of these people's house, and don't let them come out of their house because they are traitors. They're traitors to their religion, to their people, to their nation, to their prime minister. So, as a Frenchman, a non-Hindu Catholic, born, I am offended by, not only by the Jaffrelot, but also how Hindus are letting themselves be belittled, slandered, and it's a shame. It's a shame, really. It's a shame. So my thing is that unless you tackle Western Indology, which is at the root of this matter, okay, it is leftist, it is supported by Islamists, but it's Western Indology. These are Indologists, who are sponsored by the governments to enlighten people about India. These are real, real snakes. Once I remember when I started fighting against the CNRS of the organization that sponsors Mr. Jaffrelot, I had a great friend, a yogi, who told me, a Frenchman, who told me, "Oh, you are very courageous because this is like a fortress," and it is a fortress. It is a fortress, but a fortress can be brought down. So this conference is no use unless we tackle these people physically. Unless the youth, the youth of India, the Hindus, in the United States have the courage to come out of their comfort home, of the universities and go and confront these people. Go and confront them. Okay, now it is online, but these people can be found. Their addresses can be found. Their emails can be found. They have to be tackled. You can flood their emails. You can call them on their mobiles. There are so many ways that you can tackle these people that next time they will think twice before doing a conference like that. At the time when the Taliban came to power, to compare, the RSS to the Taliban, RSS are, harmless. All these fadis, when I came as a journalist, I thought, oh, RSS is very dangerous. And then I met them in Delhi and in Nagpur, and I saw these, in that time, these old guys, in their brown long shorts, and white shirts, and I thought, they're just old funny that is. No, they're just harmless people. So to compare at the time of the Taliban takeover, the RSS and the Hindus to Taliban is a crime. I'm sorry, it is no laughing matter. It's a crime, and unless the Hindus and the Hindu youth in particular do something about it, it's hopeless, man. It's hopeless, we can do 1 million conferences, but it's hopeless. And the Jaffrelot and the Witzel and the Doniger will go on because they know that they can say anything. Even if it is utter rubbish, if it is criminally rubbish, they can say anything because Hindus just take it lying down. They just take it lying down. Namaste.
Thank you very much, sir. So nice of you. You said very well that we, the Hindus, need to be active in terms of countering their narrative aggressively. Unless we don't do that, we won't be able to achieve much for sure. I'll move on to my very good friend, my another guru, Sardar Ravi Ranjan Singh Ji. Sardar Ravi Ranjan Singh Ji is the chairman, Jhatka Certification Authority. He is a professional news analyst, traveled India and abroad independently and delegate with Indian prime ministers. He is struggling hard, I must say, in terms of his movement, Jhatka Certification Authority. I welcome Sardar Ravi Ranjan Singh Ji. Sat Sri Akal, please.
Sat Sri Akal Ji, my subject is, as we had discussed before several times, that is halalonomics. All what we are saying is, every battle, be it the real battle or be it the court battle, Monica ji and we were together in one case where mosque was being forcibly installed in the High Court premises. And the argument was that once Humayun prayed here, and so it qualifies to be a mosque, and Hindus, well, when we mentioned that it is very old civilization and Hindus were here, that is right within the fort of the Pandavas. They said, well, Pandavas were drunkards, they used to drink. This was the argument which took place there. So, okay, if we have to go back to the history, there are a number of cases we were together, and one was against, I think, there was a forcible mosque just outside the Red Fort. So that is, our argument was that if we have to put back the clock, it cannot be for 157 years or 257 years. If we have to put back the clock, it has to put back to 10,000 years, or we have to move forward. So we cannot say that we'll go back, but to this such and such date. So this is what we have been, and all these cases, the lawyers, the kind of fee they are getting, I think Monica ji can never imagine that. The kind of support they are getting, and this all comes from, this is all economics that makes the world go round. It is money makes the world go round, and most of this funding is from halalonomics. It is not mere halal, it is halalonomics, and we are trying to counter it. First, let's see it in two parts. When we say halal, most of us, we take it as a method of slaughtering, but it is not mere method of slaughtering. Yes, slaughtering can be a part of halal. Halal means permissible, legitimate. So even slaughtering can be legitimate or illegitimate. And unfortunately, this word halal, that means legitimate, it has been, the Islamic legitimacy has been accepted as universal legitimacy. So what is legitimate in Islam has been accepted as universally acceptable, legitimate, whereas that is far from the reality. In Islam, there are so many things that are legitimate, say marriage within the relations, within blood relations, halala, and then there are borderlines. We can say it as a culture, or it's Islam, that, or the game tarisha, gamia, and then what do you say, farewell sex. This all is allowed or is not haram. Well, there are different theories about halal and haram, but unfortunately, what is Islamic halal has been accepted as universal halal, universally permissible. That is where the problem is. And we have been seeing it as a shopkeeper, halal shop that sells the meat. One of my friends was saying that when I was young, I used to think that Mr. Halal is some businessman who has got his franchises all over the city. So moving, one part is the meat part, that is slaughtering. Animal must face Makkah, etc., etc. But that is halal. Halal is not merely halal; it's halalonomics. Like I have the products I'll like to show here. These are all vegetable products. You can see a vegetable mark here, and then again there is a halal mark. So how come this is halal? A part of this economy, the part of this purchase is going to halal, and through halal it is going to different channels, and it has been exposed by agencies worldwide, media worldwide, that this is being used for terror, and if not necessarily for the active terror, it is being used for the active terror also, but need not be active terror. It is also used as passive terror. Say what my friend just now, funding. Now how these funds, and this, the few rupees packet, there's a fund already gone to halal or jihad, whatever we say, by my purchase of this packet. And this comes to, when we sum together the figures, there are different figures. That some figures come, estimates are about 10 trillion USD economy. So that is 3 times bigger than our Indian economy. So we cannot accept this kind of thing, and we shouldn't hope that we can fight against a terror or against Hindophobia or against anything with this kind of money. And the worldwide Muslim buying capacity is between 5 to 10%. So that means rest of this 10 trillion USD, it is I am financing that or you are financing that, and we are financing our own debt. What we say specifically in Hindi, that is, हम अपनी सुपारी खुद दे रहे हैं, and we are happy about it. That's one thing. So first, then we came with the idea of to counter halal, and we are getting success inch by inch. There are more Jhatka shops now. There's more Jhatka. This is only the meat part. And by when I promote Jhatka, I no way promote non-vegetarianism. This is only for people who are already taking meat. They should take as per what our culture is, what our civilization is, what our people have been doing. And for the Sikhs, it is specifically banned not to have halal. So that is the meat part of it. By no way I'm saying that you shift over from vegetarian to a Jhatkarian. But even being a vegetarian, you are a halaltarian. You are already consuming halal with these biscuits, with these chips, with these chocolates, and with this chocolate pack. So this is what is leading to our fall of Kabul, which is a fall of the civilizations, fall of the planet, is somewhere related to our indiscriminating buying of the products which support terrorism. So we have to be careful. We don't have to pick a gun. I don't have to pick a gun. I have to drop a packet. There are 2 packets available. I have to choose. That's all I have to do. By doing so, what we plan, what our blueprint here it is, that is shift from halalonomics to humanenomics. This is humanenomics. What we need, that is full of compassion and that cares for everyone. There's no discrimination. For economic, I don't have to see who is producing that. I have to see the product, not the producer. So that is what I have to get. For me, it is not the religious certificate that is very important. For me, it is the quality that is important. So when it comes to food and for everything, and when halal is on when I go to a lawyer somewhere, there are halal certified lawyers. I'm not in India, but there are halal certified lawyers somewhere. So I don't have to go to a lawyer who is certified. I have to go to a lawyer who can defend me or who can save me. But people are going to halal lawyers. And in India, there are halal hospitals. What that halal hospitals means, this is halalonomics. Someone coming from Sheikhdom, having 2 hospitals at disposal, will definitely prefer a halal certified hospital. And what halal certified hospital is, the employees have to be Muslim as far as possible. It is not that no, there will be no Muslim, but yes, definitely there's a game of preference and discrimination. So that will tempt another hospital to get halalized, get halal certificate, and be in the competition. So that way, one after the other, all the hospitals will be halalized, and then one fine morning there will be a fatwa that these halal certified hospitals, they will have only this community as their employee, and there can be discrimination even for the patients. There's a 5 days queue for that and 10 days queue for this operation. If you are this. If you are halal certified, if you are a Muslim, if you are this, you have a preference. So these are the things which we can foresee. We have to join the dots. We have to see the history. So that is, we have to come out from halalonomics and shift to humanenomics. That is our focus area. And seeing halal in 2 parts, vegetarian parts, that's the flagship, but that's not the main battleship. Main battleship is the rest of the economy. Halal medicines, halal advocates, halal doctors, halal hospitals, halal housing complex, and blah, 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 all halals. So that has to be ethical, that has to be maryada. That is one thing. So what we are coming up with the counter certification, we are in the counter certification of Jhatka. And this is how this agency came into being. Before that, we were working as another agency, but we came specifically for certifying Jhatka products. And then for others, we have another our parallel organizations which certify other products like Maryada and all this. That's another part. But the crux of the matter is that unless we take care of halalonomics, we cannot take care of jihad. It is mother of all jihads because it is economy that is making us. And unfortunately, while we are like we have doctors, we have engineers. Just now in the panel, I was saying that this green jihad and red jihad combo, that is killing us. And this Western world, they feel they are very powerful, omnipotent. But the matter of the fact is, this G7 ignored there is a organization called C9. That is combination of 9 universities of China. And now they have, of course, that is C15 or something like. And they have got their people installed in each and every university of US, in Canada. They are in every research lab. So China is already there. Immigration jihad, migration jihad, refugee jihad, or rather to say refugee jihads. So all these people who come, they are in they are men of a particular age bracket, and they run away from their country as if they are going to be targets, and their women and children are going to be safe, and old people are going to be safe. So they come here leaving behind their women to target other women out here. So this is refugee jihad. And how this refugee jihad and love jihad and all these jihads are, it's like I and say Tahir ji, we have a field, we have a khet. Then there's a fence between that. This is Tahir ji's field, this is my agriculture field. So there's a fence. So this is A jihad and this is B jihad. But underneath, there's same water that is flowing in his field and in my field. And it's the same air. So it's all jihads are one jihad. Yes, there are fences between the jihad and there are specialized forces for jihad. And now this green jihad, how it has taken America from inside. It is not that they surrendered, that the Afghan soldiers surrendered. They never surrendered. In fact, they were never different. So it was one Taliban in uniform and other in salwar kameez. There were two Talibans, and we assumed that they are different, but they were never different. They never surrendered. They were always one. So this is, we have to understand. Just now in a panel, I was saying it's like someone goes to a jungle and he sees a pack of wolves. Some of them are white, some of them are Vicks, and some of them are, say, black wolves. And we start identifying, okay, black wolves I can tame and I can make them fight against the white. No, they are one. So this kind of, this Taliban, good Taliban, bad Taliban, IS is against Taliban, yes, wolves fight among themselves. They kill each other. But at the same time, when they have to go for their shikar, for hunting, for them, you are a target. It makes no difference, and they are all together. We have learned as a human, we have learned so much. We have laws, law books, we have science, poetry, literature. Wolf knows nothing, but knows how to hunt. So we don't have to, our being educated, our being, this is not going to help, because wolf knows nothing. So we have to be ready not to be hunted. That is very important. And economics is a tool which is hunting us. Yes, bombing, intellectual bombing, this all is because of the money they have got at their uh, disposal. And it is we who are paying for it. And, and I'll also like to share the joy that Jhatka is getting success day by day. And on 16th of this month, couple of days from now, uh, World Jhatka Day is being celebrated. So that is how the things are coming up. Jhatka was always there, but now it is resurfacing. So that is very important. So same way, I have to be conscious everywhere that I don't have to buy a product which is a death warrant for me. Whilst buying a product that is a death warrant for me, I shouldn't buy that. And that is as simple. I have a option of choice. I have an option. I can choose A, I can choose B. And for that, one stage is I simply pick and don't speak why I'm not even to my uh, shopkeeper whom I'm buying from, because I don't want to spoil my secular image. So okay, but I can drop. Second is I can protest and drop. And third is I can protest loudly, which we have been doing. And because of this, a Government of India organization that was a one point, single point window for meat export, for all agriculture export. They had a circular illegal in some way against the letter and the spirit of the constitution, that only halal meat can be exported. So that was something that was killing the non-halal meat economy. We got it removed. There was a lot of effort. So it is not that we are against someone. We are not saying that, okay, there should be no halal export. If the country like, say, Iraq demands, so this is between buyer and the seller. But why should a government institution force that you can only export halal, whereas much of our export was for countries like Vietnam? They had nothing to, they never asked for halal certificate, but it was the Government of India's institutions which were forcing us. So we have done away with that. That is one success. And then the municipalities in Delhi, they have already come with the law that is every restaurant has to display what kind of meat they are serving. It was not there previously. So at least people will come to know. And the third is, again, we have to join the dots. The green jihad, the red jihad has been taking over. America or green jihad has always been trying to take over the superpowers, whatever superpowers they were there. And this time, as you know, Goraji, Pakistan is a country which is owned by its military. They literally own it. It is run by military. There's no, and when it comes to China, China is governed by its Communist Party. And when it comes to Western world, say US or Canada or something, it is being governed by their corporates. And now green jihadis have targeted the corporates. They have already targeted it, and they are already inside. They have taken it from inside. And top corporates, their daughters are under love jihad. And it's not that easy to get to seduce a girl from that background. There is a proper planning, program planning, and there is an institutional backing. Say a girl from a very prominent corporate was fond of horse riding. So accidentally some Olympian horse rider meets her. You cannot influence a girl of one of the richest people, daughter of a richest man or one of the richest man. With your money, you cannot influence. You cannot influence with anything else. But it is where the weak point was attacked, that she was fond of horse riding. So this is how the Green Jihad is taking over US from inside. They are already on the driving seat. So that is what it is. And to dismantle all this, what they said, it's what the problem with these jihads is, Green Jihad and Red Jihad is, strictly speaking, when it comes to color therapy, green and red, they are opposite. And in a certain proportion, when they are mixed, they become orange. That's so they are opposing each other, but at the same time, they are targeting together. And this jihad and economics is their only binding. No other binding they have between. They're opposite in each and every way. So they are taking our civilizations from inside. And it is not we have got Islamophobia, it is Red Jihad and Green Jihad. They have got a truthophobia. They are scared of truth. They are scared to accept that Earth is not flat. Simply one who does not accept Earth is not flat, there is no point of arguing any scientific theory with that. So that is to sum up the things. One is we have to take over from halalonomics and shift to humanenomics. That is our first priority. And for this, we don't have to wage a war, a proper war where the battle tanks move. We just have to be careful and I don't have to drop a bomb. I have to drop a packet. That's the end.
Thank you very much. You said everything what we needed to hear. And halal economy is obviously their source of funding, and halala is their source of layer. So moving further with our next panelist, Binay Kumar Singh ji, who's an author, researcher, columnist, and a regular TV panelist with realistic perspectives on national security, internal security, and policy issues. He has extensively researched on Maoist missionary alliance, illegal cattle trade, terror nexus, coal mafia cartel, chit fund, and Ponzi schemes. I welcome Binay Kumar Singh.
I was wondering that what the problem someone have that they want to dismantle Hindutva. So the answer what I found was very simple, that if you suppose that is the time of pandemic, the Islamic terrorism, the radical Islamists, they are on the rise. And at the time of pandemic, someone wants to choke the supply of oxygen. So at the time of this problem, someone wants to choke the solution process. And Hindutva, it is not any ism. We are a solution to this problem. We are a healer to the wounded globe. So that's someone wants to choke that process. So I think that's the answer to that. And again, my book name is Bleeding India, 4 Aggressors, 1,000 Cuts, and it has got a chapter on the finances of this network. So I have gone through a few case studies, so many the terrorist attack in Sri Lanka, some of the instances like Bhima Koregaon, what happened there. So what I found that there was a nexus, and that was a quadriga. And what that quadriga was, that the first element of that quadriga was the radical Islamist in alliance with the second part was communist, and the third part was the Christian missionaries, and the fourth portion which provided cover fire to this troika was a gang, or you can say a band of activists, lawyers, intellectuals, people from cultural fields, people, legal professionals, and all this combined, they provide cover fire to this troika. Why this troika was formed? Because there was a CMI. The CMI means a common minimum intention, and that was followed by a CMP, the common minimum program. So this troika has the common minimum program of bleeding India, of destructing India, of breaking India. And this fourth, they provide cover fire, they provide narrative to this troika. And you know, they function on a little Joe format. The little Joe means, little Joe is a cardinal number, which means 4. It is a 3 plus 1 number. So the first 3, they work on a CMP, and the fourth, they provide logistical and cover fire, and they provide a narrative to that. I start with the example. I will focus more on the finances. So how this Quadriga is financed. So let us take a case of one of the most famous case from Kerala, the Akhila Asokan case. She married one Muslim guy, Safin Jahan. So this Akhila Asokan and Safin Jahan, the case was very clear. They both were not minor. So if they want to marry, a Hindu girl wants to marry a Muslim guy, nobody can, no law can stop them. And ultimately that's what happened. The Supreme Court favored, in the Supreme Court judgment, they went into the favor of this marriage. But the most important point, that both this Akhila Asokan and Safin Jahan, they were from a very humble background. They were not very economically sound. And for the legal fee, 1 crore rupees was paid. So this was a matter of surprise, that these guys, they are from such a humble background, and who are the people, those who are paying 1 crore as their legal fee? And what is the outcome of that? So 2 questions are there. From where this 1 crore is coming? So the answer to that PFI, Popular Front of India, the most famous these days, they funded these legal fees. They funded these 1 crore rupees. And what was the output? The output was also very simple, that they celebrated this as a victory, and they celebrated the Akhila Asokan as a symbol of victory, and they celebrated it everywhere. That look, we have won this case. As a religion, as a you say that it is love jihad, but we have won this case. So that celebration, you know, that is used by them later on in different things. And again, why this nexus is formed? Because radical Islamists and communists, on the first hand, they are opposed to each other. What is the common element binding them? So I will refer to the founding fathers of the Communist Party of India, Comrade Maulana Hasrat Mohani Sahib. He gave a formula for this alliance. He said that Islam and communism both are same. If you add God, Allah to communism, it becomes Islam. And if you minus Allah, it again becomes communism. So this was a formula. So you can be a radical Islamist at one time, and just by a fraction of a second, you can be a communist on the other second. So this was a formula by Comrade Maulana Hasrat Mohani, that you can shift from a radical Islamist platform to a communist platform in a matter of seconds. Ravi Ranjan sir was talking about this halal jihad. One jihad which you must have seen just 2 days before. A priest from Kerala, his name is Mar Joseph. He's a bishop from Palai. He talked about love jihad and narcotics jihad. In India, narcotics jihad was used in any news article for the first time. But let us go back. In 2017, EFSAS, European Foundation from South Asia Studies, in November 2017, they came up with a report on narco jihad, and that what this narco jihad was. So that report mentions one interview by Pakistani journalist named Ahmed Rashid. He interviewed a Pakistani official. So what the Pakistani official said on this narco jihad, that opium is permissible because it is consumed by the Kafirs, not by the Afghanis and not by the Muslims. And the reports again mentions that warlords, insurgents, drug traffickers, and corrupt officials saw an opportunity of abusing the vulnerability of the state, which resulted from ongoing violent conflicts and extreme autocracy, and were capable of establishing dominion and monopoly over key territories, inland and particularly its peripheries. That report again mentions that now, on this date, Afghanistan amounts to 90% of the heroin and opium production of the world. And again, this is just not about economy. The economic output of this opium trade is funding terrorist organizations. And again, that is a religious motive is behind that, which is called as narco jihad. But in India, I was surprised that for the first time 2 days back, a Christian priest, he just mentioned this narco jihad thing. Let us talk about this Bhima Koregaon story. So ultimately what it looked like, that it was a class conflict. Dalits, those who want to celebrate their victory over the Peshwas, and they went into conflict with the Brahmins. But when the Pune police and later on NIA started investigating into the matter, what came out? There was a plan to assassinate, there was a plan to kill the Prime Minister of India. And again, it's a very interesting case about this quadriga functioning, that it was not a project of a single-handed person or a particular organization. The Christian missionaries were involved, the Maoists were involved, the radical Islamists were involved. I am giving you an example. Rona Wilson, the main conspirator behind the plot to assassinate the Prime Minister, his name popped up into the Bhima Koregaon investigation. He was planning and he was lobbying to revoke the ban on PFI in Jharkhand. So see, Rona Wilson, a Christian, he was lobbying to get a ban revoked on a radical Islamist organization called PFI. Again, the second name was Jewish priest, who the most privileged prisoner, Sten Swami, who died in a prison of his choice. So his name was also there. And he was a Christian missionary. And what he really did, he was a member of the CPI Maoist, and he was responsible for the international relations, for underground cadres, for building underground cadres. So when you see this case, you will find a web. The missionaries involved, the radical Islamists involved, the CPI Maoists involved, and again, a backup team, a legal team, a cultural team, a human rights organizations team, a team which declares themselves or who portrays themselves as the most intellectual. Let us focus on the financing part. How these things are funded. So let us discuss the BCCI story. I have mentioned that in my book also. BCCI, it was a bank founded by a Pakistani called Aga Hassan Abidi. So there is an American movie, the Hollywood movie called Operation Sea Chase, that is based on that BCCI, on the collapse of that BCCI. The BCCI, that got permission in 1977 to open a representative office in Mumbai. And in 1979, they had a full-fledged branch. And surprisingly, Chaudhry Charan Singh, the minority government, based on some intels, they cancelled the license of that bank. And again, to the surprise, in 1983, this bank got the consent and it finally collapsed worldwide in 1991. What this bank did and how it got permission. The American DEA, the Canadian Royal Mounted Police, the Indian agencies, they were all opposed to giving license to this bank. And who was the Reserve Bank governor? Sardar Manmohan Singh ji, the great Sardar Manmohan Singh ji. He gave license to a bank regarding which there was an intel that it is a drug money bank, it is a terrorist bank, and despite that they got the license. And finally what they did in India, this Aga Hassan Abidi, he traveled across the country. He funded the Khalistani movement. He funded the insurgents in Northeast. He funded the Maoist activities. And again, he established the heroin and the high-end drugs cartel network in India. This is what the BCCI did before collapsing. And the permission was given by the Mr. Clean Sardar Manmohan Singh. The kind of penetration these organizations are having in our political system, in our bureaucratic system, that despite having intel from the DEA, from the worldwide, from many countries and your agencies, nobody can stop them from getting the license. Again, the second BCCI nowadays is a Himalayan bank. It is a bank operating in Nepal. And it has collaborated with one bank of Pakistan called Habib Bank. And it is exactly doing the same thing what BCCI did. You go to the eastern borders of this country and all the mess, all the terrorist activities, all the radical activities, that is being funded by this Himalayan bank. So there is not one, way of funding these activities. Like we came up with FCRA 2020. There was a problem to them. There was a lot of hue and cry about that FCRA 2020. But you will be surprised that again the flow of foreign funds is no less. It is same as before. Because they have come up with new modus operandi. They have come up with something called pocket funding. So we need to, we are supposed to be a soft kind of democracy. And these problems are not exclusive with India. Many countries, they are facing the same problems like us. Let us take an example of Russia. In 2012, Russia was having a law called Russian Foreign Agent Law. Russia found that it is not sufficient. So in 2015, they came up with a law. It is like our FCRA, that undesirable organizations law 2015. And you will be again surprised that the organizations, those who got problems because of this law, were the same organizations, those who are creating mess in India. The Oxfam, the Amnesty, the Carnegie, the Open Society Foundation of George Soros. Hungary, they banned George Soros. China, what we are facing today, China has faced 3 decades back. In 1987, China persecuted, they hanged 4 persons related to George Soros.
We have taken your all important points and definitely we'll be having all those research papers and books now through our Hindu ecosystem. All over, and that's the purpose of the ecosystem. Now I'll move to Khalid Omarji. Khalid Omarji and I both share the probably the same birthplace. Once former Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Stephen Harper, I was interviewing him, asked me, how would you like to define yourself? I said that I'm a Canadian Punjabi of Hindu heritage, born in political Pakistan and born in political Islamic family. Maybe the same case with Khalid Umarji. Khalid Umarji, please join us. Your many articles are very famous in our Hindu community, especially the one, What is Wrong in India Becoming a Hindu Rashtra. So please shed your light on this global financing network of Islamists and jihadis and communists, please.
I believe the question remains that why it is happening. So I would like to understand why global communist left supports the radical Islamic jihad and why India is particularly a target. So quickly, I would say that first we need to find out the inherent intellectual similarities between these two ideologies. So I would say that both are fascist. So the irony is that calling somebody fascist now is a slur, but Marxist becomes a fashion statement of humanity and justice. Whereas we conveniently forget that Marxists have killed even more humans than the fascists did. So we need to identify the elephant of fascism in Islam and Marxism. So for just a background, fascism is the name which Mussolini chose for his political ideology after the First World War. But both Marxism and fascism have basically socialist tendencies, believing in the state control. The only difference being that the communism is based upon class and fascists use nationalism. There's hardly any other difference. Mussolini grew up as a socialist and he maintained his belief in the efficacy of socialism until the end of his life. He undoubtedly considered that fascism is just a variant of socialism that was nationalistic. So we see that the states like Soviet Union, China, and North Korea used Marxist philosophy to create dictatorships the way Germany did with fascism, and Islam do the same through Sharia law. So if we look deeply, we find that fascism and totalitarianism are really the ideologies of the left and Islam. Both Islam and Marxism support authoritarian rule as a prerequisite for social justice. Marx's utopian classless society required the dictatorship of the proletariat, and all the modern Islamic thinkers, they believe that democracy is against the basic ideology of Islam, and Allah is the sovereign and not the will of the people. So Islam, to me, has an inherent love affair with Nazism. Nazi slogan, Ein Volk, Ein Hawk, and Ein Führer, which is one nation, one empire, one leader, is nothing but La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. If Führer is replaced by Muhammad, it is the same. So the Prophet of Islam was political, religious, and a military leader, all into one. And that's the reason, basically, that why Islam will always remain the source of militancy and terrorism in the world. The modern thinkers of Islam regard Islam not as a religion, but as an ideology of power that unites heaven and earth into one entity, ruled by Islamic thought and ideals. So Islamic thought is compatible with fascism and communism, as all these models are based upon the superiority of the leader and the denigration of the freedom of thinking. So I would say that the fuel which runs the engine of Islam as well as the Marxism and Nazism is hatred. So the object of hatred is change. In Nazism, it's a race. In communism, it's a class. And in Islam, it is the infidels. So therefore, we reach the conclusion that the left liberals and Islam are natural bed partners. Both are ideologies of the extreme. Both vouch for power. Both want a state to govern. Both want control on freedom of thinking. both dictate censorship. Freedom of speech is the first casualty, in any dictatorship. So India, due to its culture and religious traditions going back thousands of years, and due to its education, is a target. We need to look at the demography of the world of India. And this will actually show us why the liberal left Marxism supports the Islamic Jihad. With 204 million Muslims in India, Muslim population in India is the world's third largest and the world's largest Muslim minority population. Well, India is home to about 11% of the world Muslim population, and which will be 15.5% by 2050, as per the estimates. So the Indians, if we look at the Indian subcontinent, Muslims are 500 million, which is around 30% of the world's total Muslims. This is something which is a staggering figure. So the liberal left wants to destroy Hindutva. And the educational institutions and USA are having a conference today on dismantling global Hindutva. So you understand the reasons. Both the left and Islam, they ultimately want to control the world through their superstate, which is now, I would say, through corporations. It's not about China or USA or Soviet Union anymore. It's the world which is ruled by big corporations. And the regime change doesn't need tanks and bombs now. All you need is democratically, you can do the regime change through your smartphone, through your palms. So I would like to, to remind you of the President Eisenhower's farewell speech on January 17th, 1961, where he gave the US and the world, I would say, a dire warning, what he described as a threat to democratic government. He called it the military industrial complex, MIC. So in 60 years now, after that, we see that reality is really biting us hard, with MIC having additional partners in the shape of now big tech, big pharma, and big finance. They want to control what we hear, what we listen, the way we vote. And that is the bloodless and coolest, control of power. So free speech and dharmic teachings can stand against the tyranny of this, which I believe, of this MIC and big tech, big pharma, big banks and information IT giants. So now when the radio and TV was born, that altered the information age. But they were controlled and they had a regulatory checks and balances. Then came the internet and it transformed the public sphere. In fact, if ever there was a public sphere, now it is all virtual. Today we are sharing our minds and sitting thousands of miles and several time zones apart. That has given the big tech the space and the power to control humanity. The way we think, the way we act, this is now they have got the opportunity to create an Orwellian world. Today, our communication platforms are just controlled by 4 big tech companies: Twitter, Facebook, Google, and Amazon. And they have the power to collectively ban citizens whenever they want in the world. Even the sitting president of USA can be banned. So I believe that the Hindu Dharma has the cultural and the intellectual power and history behind it to stand against this tyranny. India is a very big country, it's a continent. So Hinduism, if we go by the traditions and the teachings, Hinduism stands for absolutely free speech. There's never been a culture of book burning in India. Openness to ideas is expressed in the Vedas. So Hinduism is a polytheistic religion. It is not a doctrine-based religion. It allows all kinds of beliefs. And that is what the liberal left is worried about, in my opinion. India is home to the 94% of the global Hindu population. And the Muslims are spread all around the world. So they become the communists think that it would be their partners in gaining control and subverting democracy and free speech. So, which are the two guardians of human liberty, I would say. So the liberal left think that they would be able to deal with the Muslim once they are able to break the last barrier to their world control, which I think is India. Muslims know that they will kill infidels and leftists alike when they win. So they're both doing kind of a takia at the moment. And the leftists in the academia, which are a sold commodity, they have a naive view that all the religions are the same. This is what they are being taught, which is not, obviously. How can you equate Jains and Muslims? So that is, in brief, my understanding that why Islam and the liberal left nexus actually exists and operates.
Thank you very much, Khalid Umarji. You are always very refreshing, and your thoughts are eye-openers for all of us. Thank you very much. And in the end, for our panel today, I welcome Jerome Antoji as a great scholar. He's a practicing Christian, born and raised in a Irish Roman Catholic family. He's a politico-religious observer and an anti-conversion activist who's unapologetic about his nationalist leanings. Welcome, Jerome ji. Please, floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Kapil Mishra ji, Hindu Ecosystem and Sangam Talks to have organized this event. It's an honor to be part of this elite panel of members. Although a lot of content has already been covered by the esteemed speakers, me being the last speaker, I have little space. But I will try and do justice by sharing my thoughts on the topic, Global Funding Network of the Abrahamics and Leftists. I say Abrahamics because the conflict in India seems to be between a set of combined global arch rivals, the Christians and the Muslims, against the Hindus, ably supported by the leftists. Before I speak on this topic, what needs to be realized is that this anti-Hindu event, which is being co-sponsored by 50 plus universities, has in the poster depicted an RSS member being uprooted with a claw hammer. This actually is highly symbolic on two aspects. One, who is protecting this Hindu nation? And the second, who's really interested in uprooting these forces? There's a lot of messaging that has happened in that poster. So let us get into a brief history of these three forces, which seems to have ganged up against the Hindus. The combined Abrahamics, I mean both Christians and Muslims, and the communists. A perfect concoction to the method to this madness. For the benefit of this conversation, let me give a brief about all the three forces. The Abrahamics, both these are exclusive religions, roughly dating 2000 years ago. Both have had a violent past, don't see eye to eye, and have fought numerous bloody wars for the simple reason of proving who is better than who. For example, the Christians, the Crusades of the Church was an open war against the Muslims. It was a vigorous campaign for political, religious, and economic supremacy, popularly known as the Holy War. It's a pure contradiction to the concept of religion itself. Both the fundamentalists and are engaged in hate speech, other theology that tends to be ultra-conservative, fundamentalistic, and highly intolerant. These two religions have always viewed each other suspiciously and put the fear of hell on each other for not believing in their framework of religion. So that was a brief about Christians and Muslims. Now let's talk about communism. Let me start by a popular quote of Karl Marx, who is the father of communism. He had said that religion is the opium of the people. Communism hates and alienates religion from its philosophy. Let me give an account of mass murders in Russia itself during the communist regime. Approximately 15 million Christians were killed between 1920 and 1950. And I also understand through history, close to 5 million Christians vanished in those 30 years. The Soviet Union also has targeted the Muslims and the Buddhist monks. As a state, communism clearly distanced itself from religion. Given the background of these three distinctly different ideologies, what is strange in the Indian context is that these three forces have metamorphosed and come together targeting Hindus. Different equations in different geographical areas. It appears that when it comes to India and the Hindus, they forget their distinct differences and are married to each other. As far as the church is concerned, it appears that they do not have a fixed ideology, but can mutate as per the circumstances. Its permanent goal is political power, God-centered religion. The lessons that needs to be learned are that all three are equally dangerous. Now, to connect the dots, we are a billion plus people and the only civilization that has stood its test of time. Numerous invasions, our wealth plundered, and we still have stood steadfast. This, I feel, is the biggest threat to the global forces. Perhaps the only binding factor is the diverse nature of Hinduism. The only way to break this unity and dismantle this civilization is to attack the forces that keep this nation united. It has been time and again echoed in several Western media and of course Pakistan that the greatest threat to India is the RSS. Strangely, these nations are talking about a threat not to them but on us. A nation where they don't reside. I was really amused when the RSS is being compared to notorious militant organizations which have actually indulged in large-scale violence and genocide. Now let's talk a little about the need for these forces to combine and organize an event which normally should not concern them. Our take should be that they are unable to digest the fact that with all these diversities, India still has almost remained united. There seems to be a greater awareness and a Hindu consciousness. A lot of false teachings which were there in our history books have been rubbished after this generation managed to discover the truth. This is what these anti-Hindu forces are unable to digest. India used to be a below poverty line nation 100 years back and today has become an economic and military contender. They are unable to digest the fact. They are unable to get a race of people who have challenged their false teachings. So among the repeated attempts to destabilize the nation, this is another such ploy to break India. While these forces have spread far and wide, my calculation is that Pakistan, which lost miserably in the 1970s war, hatched a ploy to destroy India by its military doctrine, bleed India by 1,000 cuts. In fact, I remember Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who is the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, had declared a 1,000-year war against India. So there is nothing wrong in connecting the dots that all these forces seem to sing the same song when it comes to India. Who knows, it could be orchestrated by Pakistan. As far as fundings are concerned, there are several forces working in tandem to execute the hate India policy. For the Abrahamic religions, it's a pious responsibility to facilitate propagation of their faith. Funding is part of their religious obligation. Many a times, those who donate don't even know where their contribution is finally used. The Christian missionaries today are heavily funded by the West. Most of these funds come through several so-called peaceful channels. These funds are used to brainwash the gullible. One of our esteemed speakers spoke the involvement of the church and the missionaries to create unrest among the tribals. Obviously, these activities are funded by the evangelicals wanting a share of the Indian pie. On the other hand, the jihadi movement itself is manifesting in several forms. One of our esteemed speakers spoke about the halal enterprise. Did we ever realize that right under our feet, the carpet has been removed? Almost everyone in this country who consumes meat innocently demands or are forced to consume halal meat. So what does it mean? Halal is nothing but monopolizing goods and services. It's a wrong notion that halal is limited only to meat. I would recommend everyone to check out the halal portal, halalindia.co.in. It covers restaurants, tourism, medical tourism, makeup brand, hospitals, and whatnot. So do we even know that what all these means and where does a certain part of the fund go into? Today, an average Indian also contributes to the halal industry without even knowing that they are funding their own destruction. On the whole, this global event has actually posed a lot of questions to the Hindu community at large. Let us understand that Hinduism and Hindutva go hand in hand and are inseparable. In the present context, one cannot survive without the other. So I would say it's a blessing in disguise for our nation to wake up from its deep slumber to recognize the clear, present, and future danger posed by these forces. Thank you.
Tahirji, there was one more thing which I forgot to mention was
Right.
the recent genocide which happened in Bengal. If you see this phenomena here, means after elections, when little genocide was happening from one house to the other in almost all the districts of Bengal, and that time the communists, academicians, journalists, everybody was quiet. They were muted. In fact, people who are of their own ideology, like Alt News and others, there were certain fake videos put in the Bengal videos and stated that nothing of that sort happened. So during those times, I think we interviewed more than 200 such victims of violence, gave their full complaints, entire complaints to the Human Rights Commission. And may I just announce from here that in almost all the cases now, FIRs have been lodged. CBI has all the cases, and those people are not being intimidated today because their FIRs were lodged by none other than Human Rights, at the instance of Human Rights Commission. So what I state is that be it educational institutions or be it courts, be it after elections, wherever we have this demography where a certain percentage is more of certain groups, there we face such problems. But what we can do is whatever is in our domain, we must do it. Governments will do what they have to do. The groups will do what they have to do. But we as people must do our bit in this, I'll say, civilizational war. It is basically war upon a civilization who believes in Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, कि सबका भला हो यहाँ पर. It believes कि एकम सत विप्रा बहुधा vadanti. The truth is one, God is one, but there are so many paths leading to God. It's a war against the civilization. We all have this bounden duty to protect that civilization. So whatever we can do, we must do our bit. It starts from our house. At least tell your own children. I don't think we should have TVs in our house in the evenings when we have dinner. Sit with the children, tell your own children what's happening around, what's happening in Bengal, what's happening in Kerala, what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir, what was this dismantling global Hindutva conference, what was this dismantling jihad conference. Let's start from our houses. I think the lanes and my lanes will take care of themselves. Thank you.
To a few minutes, I would say that the allegation on the BJP government is that they are pursuing a path of Hindu fundamentalism. So, like on the basis on the way the Islamic fundamentalism is. So the question is that what is fundamentalism and does it really exist in Hinduism? So for me, for fundamentalism to exist in any religion, it must have some common characteristics and common ideology. So take, for example, the Christianity. You can't be a Christian unless you believe in Trinity and Holy Spirit. And similarly, you can't be a Muslim unless you believe that Allah is the only God and Muhammad is his last messenger. So on the other hand, Hinduism has no single founder. It has set of widely accepted doctrines. It has no physically defining characteristics such as race or ethnicity. So it has thousands of different identities. It has no common ideology as Islam and Christianity has. So that's why I would say that Hinduism is not capable to become a fundamentalist religion as such, because there are no fundamentals here. So it is possible that some people, some adherents of the faith can be more assertive of their identities, be that militant and violent. But Hinduism is not capable of becoming extremism beyond a certain point as Christianity, Islam has done, and they can be. So we need to understand the concept of monotheism is fundamental and extremist in its nature. And that ends up in tyranny and totalitarianism. For Islam, all the others are subject of hate as being kafirs and idol worshippers, infidels, etc. On the other hand, the Rig Veda says the truth is one. Sages call it by different various names. That is the defining ethos of Hinduism, and we should be proud of it. That Hinduism does not have any element of fascism or extremism or fundamentalism in it inherently.
Correct.
I just got to know from Kapil Sweet that it is 25 versus 50,000, and they claim that they got representation from 40 universities and not a single representative from each university. Because if one person each from every university would have participated, there would have at least 40 of them. So it was great meeting you all. And one more thing, the last thing which I would like to add, that look, Hinduism, it is not ism. We are not something, that it is written and it is the last word. We are an experiment. We are an ongoing experiment. We are not like a pond, we are like a river. So you cannot claim that the river at point of time, it is same as 1,000 years back or lakhs years back. The river, it is fresh in each and every second. So the Hindu thought process is an ongoing flow like a river, and it is always new, it is experimenting. And again, the last thing which I would like to add, that this radical rise in Afghanistan, it has posed a great threat to the humanity, and Hinduism and Hinduness is an answer to that.
Right, very well said. We are always in an evolving state. On behalf of all panelists, I would like to be very, very grateful to Hindu ecosystem hosting such a wonderful conference, and also very grateful to Sangam Talks. And the final words from our brother Shri Kapil Mishra ji. Welcome, Kapil Mishra ji, for hosting such a successful conference. You proved in a very short notice that the people who were doing dismantling global Hindutva for so long could not even get more than 24 people. And in just couple of few days, within a couple of days, you brought thousand and thousand people. Welcome, sir, and we really salute.
Thank you, Tahir Gauraji. And they got dismantled totally. Today, when this event is happening, dismantling Islamic and communist jihad, at this moment, only on Twitter, we already have 75,000 total viewers. And they, who were trying to talk about dismantling Hindutva, total viewers, they have 25. They were claiming support from 45 universities and they have 25 viewers. That is the power of our unity. And I am not including viewers on our YouTube platforms, Facebook platforms. We have Jaipur Dialogues hosting it. We have Sangam Talk hosting it. Last 5-6 hours since this discussion has started, more than 5 lakh people online have joined us on various platforms. 70,000 tweets, hashtag dismantling jihad. And yes, we had to do it. We were forced to do it because today it's 9/11 and they want to talk about Hindutva. They want to divert the attention from real issues. They want to divert the attention from real threat to humanity. And yes, all the panelists, all the eminent speakers who joined us today, all were very clear that it is not only jihadis, Islamists who are a threat, but the bigger threat is these so-called liberals and Marxists and communists who are actually trying to provide the cover-up, the mask. People who were organizing dismantling Hindutva event, they were not jihadis. They are mask cover-up for jihadis. So I would like to thank everyone for joining on such a short notice. I would like to thank all the audiences all across the globe, people from Japan, Australia, who are staying back till late in the evening, and people from USA and Canada who got up early today to join this event. So people from all across the globe, from Singapore, from Thailand, from UK, from Middle East, और सारे भारत के हमारे साथी जो भी देर रात तक जगे हुए हैं, ट्वीट कर रहे हैं, इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, कन्वर्सेशन में जुड़े हुए हैं, उन सभी लोगों का, हजारों लाखों लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आभार, थैंक यू। आज हम सबका जुड़ना बहुत जरूरी था, लेकिन ये केवल शुरुआत है। The kind of ecosystem that they had, we not only need to destroy their ecosystem, evil ecosystem, but also we need to build up our own ecosystem for humanity, for truth, for logic, to convey the right history that Monica Arora ji was talking about. We need to build that ecosystem, and this is just a beginning for that. तो सभी लोगों का जो इस इवेंट से जुड़े हुए हैं, उन सबका बहुत बहुत आभार और स्पेशल थैंक्स जयपुर डायलॉग्स का, और वेरी वेरी स्पेशल थैंक्स संगम टॉक्स का, राहुल दीवान जी का, तानिया जी का, प्रज्ञा जी का, अपर्णा जी का, संजय दीक्षित जी का, उनके बेटे का, उनका बहुत बहुत आभार जिन्होंने ये सब टेक्निकल अरेंजमेंट, ये लाइव करना, सब स्पीकर्स के साथ कोऑर्डिनेट करना, लास्ट मोमेंट तक अभी तक पूरी टीम जगी हुई है, लगी हुई है, उन सबका बहुत बहुत आभार। और आप सभी स्पीकर्स का मुझे मालूम है आप में से किसी के पास भी टाइम नहीं है. You all are busy professionals working for the cause, fighting the right battles. उसके बावजूद आप टाइम निकाल कर आए हैं. सरदार रवि रंजन जी, आपने हलाल इकोनॉमिक्स के बारे में, फंडिंग के बारे में, जिहाद की जो आपने बताया. विनय जी, आपकी बुक जो एक्सपोज करती है शायद टेरर फंडिंग और इनके नेक्सस, ये जो क्वाड्रिगा जो आप उसको बोलते हैं, इसके बारे में इस देश को इतनी डीपली किसी ने शायद पहले कभी नहीं बोला है. आप यहाँ पर आए स्मिता जी, जापान ने कैसे रेडिकल इस्लाम को एज ए नेशन, एज ए सोसाइटी, एज ए कम्युनिटी ब्लॉक किया है, उसके लेसन्स आपने दिए हैं सब लोगों को. मोनिका अरोड़ा जी ने किस प्रकार से झूठी हिस्ट्री पढ़ाई जाती रही है, किस प्रकार से बुक्स तक को रोकने की कोशिश की जाती है, असली फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन को रोकने वाले लोग जो हैं उनके बारे में मोनिका जी ने बताया है. खालिद उमर जी, हम सब आपके फैन हैं और जितनी बेबाकी से आप बात रखते हैं और एक्चुअल में रियल सेक्युलरिज्म क्या होता है ये आपके थ्रू समझ में आता है. और जब आपने ये बोला कि धर्म, हिंदू धर्म, उसको पास ये एक्सपीरियंस और ये समझ है, उसको सुन के बहुत सारे लोगों के मैं सोशल मीडिया में रिएक्शंस देख रहा था. थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस. जेरोम जी को हम नहीं सुन पाए और बहुत मन है, कभी ना कभी सुनेंगे. और ताहिर गोरा जी, थैंक यू, ऑसम, यू आर अमेजिंग एंड सो हम्बल. शाम से आप जुड़े हुए हैं, कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहे हैं, मॉडरेट कर रहे हैं. इट इज ऑलवेज अ प्लेजर टू हियर यू. इट इज ऑलवेज अ प्लेजर एंड वी नो कि आपने कितने दिल से, कितनी सच्चाई से, कितनी प्योरिटी से आप इन सारे कॉजेस से जुड़े हुए हैं और किस प्रकार के लोगों के खिलाफ लड़ते हुए आप बोलते हैं. इतना आसान नहीं है. और मुझे याद है जब आपसे पहली बार मेरा इंटरेक्शन हुआ तो आपने बताया कि राम के शहर का रहने वाला एक पाकिस्तानी जिसके दिल में सच्चा हिंदुस्तान बसता है. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत बहुत आभार आपका भी, सीरियसली. और ये इवेंट इतना सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो पाता आपके बिना. मीनाक्षी शरण जी, जिन्होंने आज हमको ज्वाइन किया और बताया, बंटवारे के बारे में भी बताया किस प्रकार से वायलेंस हुआ था. प्रोनाल एस जी हम सब के गुरु के समान है, हम लोग हमेशा उनको फॉलो करते हैं, सुनते हैं. और बिल वार्नर जी, पॉलिटिकल इस्लाम के बारे में. आभास जी, जिन्होंने जो हमेशा बहुत डीपली, संदीप बालकृष्णन जी, ये सब इतने डिटेल में हमेशा से बताते हैं लेकिन इतने शॉर्ट नोटिस में आप सब लोग यहाँ पर जुड़े. रॉबर्ट स्पेंसर जी, जिन्होंने जिहाद के अलग अलग फॉर्म्स के बारे में डिस्कस किया. सुकी चहल जी, जो कि खालिस्तान के फेक मूवमेंट के पीछे जो ISI है, इस्लामिक जिहादी पावर्स हैं, उनके बारे में खुलकर हमेशा से बोलते रहे हैं. विभूति झा जी, नीरज अत्री जी, सभी लोग, एवरीवन हु हैज जॉइंड टुडे, थैंक यू वेरी मच. और ये जैसा कि मैंने शुरू में कहा, दिस इज जस्ट अ बिगनिंग. हम लोगों को इकट्ठे मिलकर और बहुत सारे डायलॉग्स करने हैं, कन्वर्जेशंस करने हैं. और ये बात आज जरूर हम सब ने मिलकर प्रूव की है कि लॉजिक, ट्रुथ और यूनिटी, इसके साथ हम इन सारी बड़ी बड़ी जो एविल पावर है, ह्यूमैनिटी पे जो खतरा है पिछले 1500 साल से. आज कई लोगों ने लिखा है ट्विटर पे, 50 मिलियन मर्डर्स इन जस्ट लास्ट 100 ईयर हैज बीन डन बाय कम्युनिस्ट एंड जिहादीज. ये इसके अगेंस्ट हम लोगों को अपने केवल धर्म के लिए नहीं, अपने केवल देश के लिए नहीं, बल्कि ह्यूमैनिटी के लिए we need to come together, we need to work together, we need to fight together and we need to win together. Again, thank you everyone. बहुत बहुत आभार आज जुड़ने के लिए. लड़ेंगे और जीतेंगे. वंदे मातरम. भारत माता की जय. थैंक यू. नमस्ते. जय हिंद.